everyone, this is Sandra at Spirit of Avalon. So this is probably going to be a rambly, waffly, whatever video, this one, because I just want to kind of say some things, or just see what you guys think. So I'm going to obviously go through a card deck while I'm talking, so that you've got something to look at. This is the Forest MB Tarot, which is one I've just received, which I purchased from Jen and Elle. So I think this was a Kickstarter originally. I have no idea if it's still available at all. So recently I've purchased a few decks, sort of within a month. I've purchased a few decks, more than I would normally do, definitely, in that month, so in the month of August. And I think some of that, or a lot of that, was to do with, my aunt passing away. And I know I've said it before and you guys will be fed up of hearing me say it, but most of you know about that. And what it did to me, because she was a favourite aunt, was I found it very difficult to come to terms with. And whenever I kind of tried to look forward, I kind of couldn't. And so I wanted something to look forward to. And, the things that make me happy are my decks, things like my crystals, and, things that I have on my altar space, stuff like that. So I wanted to kind of have something to look forward to. Anyway, so I've had one or two comments, and I'm not saying that it was meant in a horrible way, because I'm sure it wasn't. About like how many decks I have, how much other stuff I have, such as crystals, altar things, stuff like that. And because it's me, and nobody was being nasty at all, but because it's me, I then think, oh, do you know what? Maybe they've got a point, perhaps it is too many decks. So, and, just one comment with me, because of how I am and how my anxiety is, and the fact that I overthink things, and I mean really overthink things. It's one of my worst things, is that I overthink and overthink. So one, comment can, cause a big thing for me, and I'll be thinking over it for days and days. And it always reminds me of, I don't know if any of you of a certain age will remember the brother and sister music group, the Carpenters, and Karen Carpenter passed away from anorexia. And the reason that she got anorexia in the first place, or started to like diet to excess and stuff, was apparently all because of a kind of a comment, just one kind of throwaway comment from the press, where they mentioned her brother, whose name I think was Richard, but I might be wrong, but let's just say it was, where they said Richard's chubby sister. And just those words, his chubby sister, that made her diet and to excess, to the point that she got anorexia, which, you know, unfortunately eventually contributed to her death. So, and I'm not saying I'm obviously, you know, someone's going to say something and that's going to contribute to my death. No, not at all. What I'm trying to say is that one little comment can have a big effect on someone, and the person saying it might not even realise that and never meant it horribly at all. You know, or two comments, or however many that I've had or seen or whatever. So then this morning I spent how long? Most of Wednesday on the laptop making a list of my decks, tarot and oracles, to see how many I'd actually got. And I'm not going to name numbers here of how many I've got of each, but suffice to say, I don't think it's a huge collection, not compared to some people. But then again, when I don't kind of, well, I wouldn't, but this is me personally, I just wouldn't ever comment on somebody's deck collection, or how many they'd got, or how much they'd got of other things like crystals, altar stuff, or how much they'd got in their home or anything like that, because I just wouldn't. Because I would just think, well, that's up to them, it's their business, you know. So yeah, so it kind of doesn't enter into it for me how many decks people have got. That doesn't bother me at all, or how many books people have got, because that was another thing that has been mentioned. You know, and actually recently I have had a clear out of books, so I had more than I've actually got now. But yeah, so most of Wednesday apart from going to Slimming World, of course, I listed all my decks. Apart from, well, no, I did. Yes, I did list the new ones that have come in as well, or that I have brought in. So I did list those as well. And yeah, because there were a few. There were a couple that I got on a trade group, which I paid for, but I got for a very good price. And actually the lady was lovely and actually put two other decks in, two mass market decks in for free, which I thought was lovely of her. And actually, luckily, those are two decks I don't have. So instead of two decks there, I ended up with four, because the lady had put these other two in. I'd also got a couple from eBay that are indie decks that, again, I got for a good price. And I got some in the Hay House sale for 50% off. So, and the reason I did this, obviously, you know, they were decks that I'd looked at, that I liked the look of. And then when they were 50% off, I thought, well, yeah, let's go for it, you know. And like I said, it's mostly because I was trying to kind of, even if it's maybe it's wrong to do this, maybe it is wrong, but I was trying to find things to kind of look forward to, things that I could focus on, instead of thinking my aunt's not here anymore, I can't imagine her not having a laugh with her anymore, and things like that. But so I've got this list now, and I'm trying this morning. I thought, okay, let's look at the oracle decks again, and I'm pulling them out, and I've literally got 2 oracle decks and 2 tarot decks, possibly 3 tarot decks that I'm going to let go so far. But then I'm looking and I'm thinking, but that's nothing really. But every time I looked at these decks, like it actually got them out and looked through them, I just thought, I don't want to let them go, because there's something that I loved about them, that I felt connected to with them. And it was like, see, I don't want to sound, because I don't want to sound really dramatic, but I don't know how else to put it. It's like, with some things, when you've like used it and made a connection with it, like especially like my tree decks, for instance, it's like, if you were to get rid of it, like almost like getting rid of a piece of your soul or a piece of yourself. And I thought, I don't want to do that with a lot of these, but I probably need to cut back. But so I've found it really difficult this morning, and I've kind of stopped at the moment because I was finding it difficult, and I was ending up almost making myself depressed again because of thinking I need to let stuff go. And also, you know, like if things are gifted to you, like quite a lot of my decks, well, not if a reasonable amount of my decks have either been gifted to me by people just as gifts, just sent as gifts, or they're birthday gifts or Christmas gifts. And I just can't let those go, because somebody has thought about me and thought to buy that gift for me, whether it's from a wish list or whatever it's from. So I don't want to let them go. So I don't know if any of you guys, have you ever tried to kind of force yourself to let things go because you thought you should, because you've kind of overthought about 1 or 2 comments, even if the person wasn't intending to be nasty or anything. I mean, literally, when I was doing this and like getting my crystals and things out, and you know, like these here, like this one always feels lovely to me, and you know, another, and I almost, and again, I don't know how mad this is going to sound, but with some of them I almost cried at the thought of letting them go. With some, not everything, with some things, because I'm connected to it, you know. But it's also with the new decks that have come in, you know, I was looking forward to them obviously, and because that was the whole thing of getting these with something to look forward to, and now it's almost tainted it. I know it's my own fault for overthinking, but it's almost tainted it now, and I've taken the decks out of their envelopes, the ones that came in back boxes or envelopes, and I've taken the Hay House decks out of their box, but I haven't taken the cellophane off or anything, because now I'm like, oh, do you know what, perhaps I shouldn't have done that. And I know this is probably going to sound really silly, guys. I know it probably is. But it's like, I don't go on expensive holidays. I might go on a couple of trips a year. Usually it's up to Nottingham to see Simon, or it might be to Glastonbury. And, you know, that's it. I don't go on expensive holidays. I don't have expensive jewellery. I don't smoke. I don't drink. So these are my things. These are my things that I look forward to. I mean, obviously, you know, I have my mum. I'm a carer for my mum. So I have that, you know, and I have my nieces and my brother and stuff. And sometimes I go out with my brother, but, you know, a lot of the time he's busy. You know, he's got 2 young kids. So, and I do see them, and it is lovely. And it's lovely to go out on occasion with him and with the kids, or just him, you know. But it doesn't happen that much, and it's fine. So, although I don't live on my own, as I've said before, I don't do anything as a couple. I don't do anything at all as a couple, which again will sound weird, but I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but just to say, so you see that, so maybe how I look at things is not in a healthy way, perhaps. But yeah, but that was it really. But I don't know. Is it right to comment on whether, if you think people have got a lot of decks? I mean, maybe, like I said, there was nothing nasty. I mean, like I said, it wasn't actually just decks, it was books and altar things, and, you know, and, you know, about it, you know, it probably cost a lot of money and things like that, which, yeah, and I don't have loads of money. I have to save for things. Usually I have to save because I'm carer for my mum, so that's the money I get. So yeah, I have to save for things, or I might sell something. I mean, yes, I've sold decks before, and I will sell decks again. It's just that a lot of them I've got now are ones that I do want to keep. I mean, I will make doubly sure, but yeah, so I don't know how much sense I've made with this video. Probably none or hardly any at all, but yeah, I don't know. I've probably just really got to not overthink, but it's hard to not do that when you're prone to doing it. And you know, when I had some counselling, like CBT therapy and stuff, they said to me that thing with like me and other people that have anxiety or overthinking brains or whatever, that she said your brain doesn't work quite like other people's. You know, other people can just shrug things off, not be bothered, but you can't, because it's just the way kind of your brain is wired, if you like. So yeah, so anyway, I mean, I will be coming on to do walkthroughs and things. I don't know when, because I need to think about, you know, the things I've got, and you know, should I be showing them all? You know, I mean, I am careful with how much money I spend and things like that. Obviously, I don't spend food money or that on decks and stuff. Like I said, normally it's when I can get them at a good price, or I might treat myself to one that might cost a little bit more. But usually it's if I can get them at a good price. And like with the Hay House sale, I mean, 50% off, it was like worth it, I thought. But anyway, let me know your thoughts, guys, down below. Please, you know, if you can, keep the comments nice, because it'd be horrible if anyone was kind of arguing amongst themselves or anything like that. Obviously, if I did see comments that weren't like actually nasty and not constructive or anything, I would delete them. So yeah, it's just nice to keep everything friendly, isn't it? That's what I like. I don't like confrontational things or that. It's just really to see what you guys think, you know, and you can get an idea anyway of how many decks I've got if you watch the Tarot Tubers at Home video that I did, the hashtag, because you can see quite a lot of them on there. The ones I didn't include actually are the Total Tarot magazine ones, but I have actually even sorted through them, and 3 of those at the moment are going. So yeah, anyway, it is very hot and kind of muggy today, so it's humid today. So it's not like overly sunny, but it is humid, so everyone is like sweating and gross. But yeah, so that's what it's like here in the UK anyway at the moment. I think it's like this until about Monday. So yeah, I hope everyone is doing really well. I hope you don't mind me coming on here and just saying this. And yeah, like I said, please, you know, kind of keep it friendly and stuff in the comments. And yeah, I will be back and talk to you all soon. Bye for now.